Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food Empowerment Project, and you can help me help them help the animals by donating to our fundraiser here on Twitch, visiting their website, which I posted in the chat, or simply by watching my streams and bringing your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. If you enjoyed today's stream, please support my creative work by becoming a Twitch subscriber to remove ads and get cute emotes, joining my Patreon to get illustrated postcards and prints in the mail, or sending me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to all these are in my Twitch About section or in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Today is Tuesday, which means it's time for illustration, and I am back to work on my Onomatopoeia bees illustration. This is part of a larger series that I intend to have published as an art book when it's finished. The point of it is to teach animal onomatopoeia in English and Japanese using gorgeous illustrations, because the illustrations that I fell in love with from Japanese pop media are the reason why I wanted to learn Japanese in the first place. And animal onomatopoeia being different in different languages was one of the first mind-blowing things I learned when I started teaching myself Japanese. It just didn't cross my mind that animals would say meow in English but would say nya in Japanese, or different things in different languages, and it's all different depending on the language. So that's why I'm creating this piece today. I believe this is number 7 or 8. I can never remember. I've made quite a few of these by now. The point that I'm at in this process is adding more to the flat color. I filled in the color, but now we're adding details to these flowers. They're thistle flowers. And you can see the example, this top left and middle left flowers. I finished these, so we have the outlines that I created with ink a while ago. And these similar shapes I've now created with digital on the flat color layer. So I'm going to just keep working downwards. We finished these 2 buds last week. So now our first step today is to bring this flower in the bottom left to the same point of completion as we have in these flowers above it. So let's zoom in. And you'll have to listen to my squeaky, crunchy chair, as usual. It's a mystery. I don't know what's wrong with it, why it does that. Sorry, I don't know what it sounds like. I don't think I've ever listened to it on a stream. I haven't watched one of my own streams in a while. I try to watch them every so often so that I know how things are going, but I haven't done it in a while. Okay, first I'm just going to actually pull back a lot of this edge stuff. I created this round circle part just as sort of like a placeholder to give me an idea. Now I'm bringing it back, and we'll decide where to add. We're refining. I'm using the brush tool, and I have mapped to my Wacom tablet remote the blending mode up here. One button makes it clear, the other button makes it normal. When it's clear, it will clear away the pixels, and when it's normal, it adds pixels. I discovered this a couple weeks ago, and it's completely changed my workflow. So it's quite wonderful. I love it. I still forget sometimes. I've only been using it for a couple weeks now, so I still forget sometimes which blending mode I'm on, or the fact that I need to press the button, or whatever it is. So we're just going to push and pull this until I have something satisfactory. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. That's the beauty of digital media. We can just keep messing with it as long as we want until we're happy. I feel like I have enough experience now too to know when to say, all right, that's enough, and not get drawn into perfectionism when approaching it in this way. Sometimes it is hard to make a decision though. I don't know how much that has to do with perfectionism or how much it has to do with there are no right answers, which is something I keep saying a lot because it's true during this process. There's no right answers about how to do this. It's not like a mathematical equation or anything. It's just making decisions. And digital gives you almost infinite decisions. Practically infinite. It may as well be infinite. It's not actually infinite, but you know, as far as the human mind, what we can handle thinking about, may as well be. So I'm trying to avoid little tangents like what was right there, where this green background was coming and matching perfectly with the edge of this black line. We don't want that if we can avoid it. So that's what I was getting rid of there. And last time I remember I started making these a little too thick, so I'm trying to keep myself from making these tube flowers. I'm not sure what any official scientific name is for this part of this flower, because from far away the thistle flowers look like one big flower, but when you look closer it's more like a sunflower where there's lots of smaller flowers making up the bigger flower. And if it is like a sunflower, it probably actually is. These are probably flowers in themselves, because the sunflower, what we think of as the petals, are actually flat flowers. So it was pretty confusing. I don't like how that one came out. Let's do it again. And we'll do some crisscrossing occasionally. And sometimes I'll make it thicker at the bottom just because it seems better not having that little tiny gap right there. Oh, if you heard that snort, I think little dog Chappie's having a dream. She's in the bottom right camera, puppy cam. I don't like that. Let's make it a little thinner. Thinner, thinner, thinner. And this is going to be another stream where I'm not talking as much as I usually am, because there's just not as much to describe. I'm doing the same thing over and over. It's the same basic decision I have to make. Where to put more of these? How big to make them? How long to make them? Do I put it next to each other and have it parallel? Do I cross it behind an inked one? Just little stuff like that. Whoops, I wanted to change blending mode, but it didn't. Whoops, I changed it back. It didn't take that first time. And then the second time, I clicked it again by accident. That one I will actually leave. Okay, so I think I've addressed everything that I had erased, so let's move down, erase some more and add some more. Okay, that's probably enough. Now let's start adding some back. I feel like each time I work on another flower, especially after I've had a break from it, I get even better. I get even better at being able to decide what'll look good or what I want it to look like. Or that the process of making these decisions is easier. Maybe that's a better description of the feeling I'm having. It feels easier. Blendy mode. Oh, that's too thick. Thinner one. Thinner one, please. Oh, now it's time for more erasing. Now I have this one little spot right here. I'm just going to color it in. That'll be easier. Where these two flowers are meeting. And then that means I just erase this bottom part. Oh, Wolf is here. Hello, Wolf. How are you? Yay, I'm so glad you could join me today. How's your Tuesday going? I'm not talking too much this stream because it's more of the same, so there's not much to explain that's different from usual. So it's nice to have you pop in so I have something to say. Not that I'm trying not to talk or anything, it's just like I keep saying the same things over and over. There's only so many times I can explain it. Oh, good. Oh, yeah. That's such a nice feeling. How long you got? Let's see, it's almost top of the hour. I don't know what time it is there, you, but it's getting close. I said, that was a weird grammar, what I said. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, I think you have 1 hour. You know what I meant. I think it was understandable, even though it was nonsense grammar. I kind of like this feeling of this. Whoa, all of a sudden, I better save. I'm not doing anything different, and all of a sudden my tower is like, oh man, red alert. Let's see, I'm going across. Ooh, I'm going across. Alright, it just needed a little cool off, and now it's better. Now it feels better. You feel better, PC? Hope so. Need you to stick with me here. Wolf, has it been an exciting day or a boring day? Is it that kind of 1 hour where you're feeling tired and you really want the break? Or is it like that 1 hour where it's been dead all day and you're like, I need something else right now. I need to be able to do something else right now. I've had plenty of both of those in my time working various different jobs. Those even happen now that my main focus is on writing an illustration. It still happens. There'll be days when I'm like, how has it only been 15 minutes of writing time? This is so hard. And other times when I'm thinking that I have so much to do and the clock is running out, but I'm exhausted, so I'm kind of glad the clock is running out because I've been on fire that day, or whatever. Oh, nice. Yay. I'm glad your day has gone by quickly. I think those are the best. That feels balanced to me. At least your words remind me of the days when it has felt balanced to me. Where there was enough to do, not too much to do. And it slows down nicely toward the end. Let's take a look at the overall effect of what I've added and see if I want to add any more. I think I do. So what I'm finding first off, what's really catching my eye is that I've been avoiding bringing these two elements into contact. We do have a little bit of overlap here with the lines, but especially right here, looks like I'm avoiding, and that's distracting from the storytelling. Even though it's just in the corner there, it's not that big of a deal, but let's be a little bit more bold, in this area. And it is hard to build overlap in, because the lines represent the areas that are forwardmost. The lines themselves help bring them forward visually. So it makes it tough. I might have to erase some of the black lines. But for now, I will just try to lengthen some of the lines I already have, because that might be enough. Oh, Satuita is here too. Hello! Yay! I'm so glad you could join me. I saw you outside. Ooh, wolf. I'm so jealous. Storm's coming in, although you put though, so that makes it sound like you don't actually want them to come in. To me, that's perfect. I love inclement weather. It's my favorite. You know this by now, though. Were you looking forward to doing something that the storms might impede? Like playing with Ari outside? And now I'm reading Satuita's messages. Cute rainbow fuzzies. Yep. We're getting this. The colors for the bees are not final at all. They're just placeholders. Oh, good. Done with yard work. Yay. Thank you so much for all your help every time. Yay. You're going to be AFK. Okay. Have a safe trip wherever you're going after this. Ah, yeah. Wolf says as long as there's no tornadoes, we will be good. That is something that I can do without. I can do without tornadoes. I've never seen a tornado with my naked eye, but most of my grandparents were from Texas, so they've been part of my consciousness for forever, since my consciousness came to be, because I was born and raised in Texas. So, well, not my first year of life was in Texas, and then we kept going back to visit, and so a lot of Texas influence. And that includes tornadoes. So I understand that. Yeah, I'm wishing for no tornadoes for you too. Those are not. I know some people who are excited just to see them off in the distance, but I'm not excited because I think of all the animals that are probably being harmed by the tornado. So how about no tornadoes, period? I know we can't help it. It's just nature, but yeah. Is it saying that tornadoes are coming? Is that why you said that? Okay, I gotta save my piece real quick. Oh, that looks so much better. I'm so glad. It does not look like I'm gonna have to erase any of the ink lines. I filled this space in much better now, so I think that's good enough. That actually looks really nice. It looks organic, but it looks balanced. Alright, then let's keep moving. Let's move on to this one next to the currently dark blue bee. Won't always be dark blue, I don't imagine, but we never know. We'll figure it out. So we're just going to do the same process, and it shouldn't take too long because it's just a quarter of a flower showing here. Ooh, no. Do you have a storm cellar or some other tornado shelter to go to? I know they can just come straight down and you've got seconds. That's scary. You had tons of them last month. Is that unusual? I feel like I've been hearing reports more and more, and it doesn't surprise me, but it is a little, makes me despair a little bit. The weather has been odd everywhere. I have an app that gives me a news article in Japanese at my Japanese ability for practice, but it's real current news, and I get an article every night, and very often this year, the article is about the most recent one was the rainy season is like 2 weeks early in one prefecture in Japan, and it's been stuff like that. And last year too, but it seems like more and more this year as well. And of course, I'm experiencing it firsthand, stuff being way different weather-wise each year. It's the past couple years I have come to realize that I cannot rely on my the weather app, period. Like, the weather prediction for the next day is maybe it will happen, but also maybe it'll be completely different, and it's just unreliable, and it didn't used to be that unreliable. I know it's just a forecast, but it used to be a little bit more reliable. Like, you could say, oh, what's going to happen on the weekend, and trust that that's probably what's going to happen on the weekend. Now it's like, you can't trust anything that's not a few hours in the future. Okay, I was editing these lines a little bit because it just wasn't, I didn't like how they were looking, so I cut them a little bit. Now I'm gonna fix the flat color underneath to match. Oh, I'm not catching up. I'm not staying on top of chat. Satuita drove to Alex's. Okay. Good luck with your yard work. If you continue to listen or something, I'll do my best to keep this entertaining for you. Oh, and you've been seeing all the storm chasers going live on YouTube a lot lately. And Wolf says, you go to designated areas at work in the inner. Yep. Yep, that's what I've heard. Is closet is the safest if you don't have an underground area. So you don't have a basement or anything? You get more tornado watches than anything. Well, that's good then. It's good that it doesn't usually actually come get you. Of course, we must all practice constant vigilance. You don't want to be caught because you started treating him like the boy who cried wolf. So, the boy who cried wolf because you're a wolf. That's true. Now that you say that, we never had a basement till we moved to Idaho, so that makes sense. I spent my childhood, most of it in Texas, California, Southern California, and Arizona, so that's true. I wonder why that is. So pretty much everyone has a basement here. Well, you know, that's a generalization, but most houses here have basements. I've even seen houses here, and I would love to have one, completely underground. And it's just, you can see, they have windows, a few windows, but most of the house is underground, and you walk downstairs to get to the entrance. And I would love to have a house like that, because in the ground the temperature is more stable, so it's cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. Have one coming out from the bee so that it feels like the flower's continuing on underneath the bee. In fact, we'll do another one here for that same reason. Okay, let's zoom out and see what the overall effect is. I'm gonna redo these last ones I did actually. Or maybe I need to add more to the space behind. I was avoiding adding too much in this area, but maybe that's what it needs. 'Cause it feels kind of bald. You just noticed the puppy cams. Yep. When I rearranged my virtual space here on Twitch and added those cameras, I was like, what do I do with them when I'm doing digital? I'm not going to have it pointed at my tablet or something like that. And then I was like, oh wait, we could just do some puppy cams. That would be fun. So, yep. Whenever it's digital work, I got the puppy cams on. Alright, I think that one is pretty good. Just one little thing. This one sticking out here is feeling odd. I'm going to see what it's like without it. Might be best without it. Even though I had the idea of putting it there to show the flower continuing. Yeah, let's just not have it. I think it looks better without it. So, the next one, I just want to make sure. Earlier when I was adjusting the lines, I started coloring instead of erasing, so I wanted to make sure there weren't any pixels the wrong color. didn't look like there were. So this flower here, I think, was meant to be similar to this puffy expired flower. It doesn't, I think it's in a less expired state than this one. But I wonder about it because of the way that this part is. I guess it doesn't matter that much. I'll just continue adding these single straight lines. Whoa, I keep doing that. I'm trying to click the big mountain button to zoom in, but instead I hit the end of this bar and it goes to, what does it go to? You can go up to 12,800% zoom. I wonder how they decided that. Oh wait, I've been forgetting something. I've been forgetting a step. Using my effects layer, so I need to go back over here because I didn't do it over here either. Using my effects layer, which is a stroke with a vibrant pink color at the moment, to make sure there's no missing pixels and no unwanted extra pixels. Oh, right, it helps if I turn the lines off for this. Okay. And sometimes it can be really, really subtle, like these couple marks that I just got. That's why turning off, oops, that's what turning off the ink lines helps with this step. Thank you, too, for joining me in the chat because I thought it was going to be another relatively quiet stream. I prefer to keep talking so that for anyone who's lurking and or maybe just listening, there's still something interesting happening, but it's hard for me to just keep saying the same stuff over and over and over when I'm working on a step like this that isn't very interesting because I'm just doing the same thing over and over. Having a little conversation livens the stream up, and it's all thanks to you. Sometimes I try to tell stories or some anecdotal or related thing, but I also need my brain to focus on what I want to do here, so it's a little harder to do on this step too. Turn the lines back on here. Now I'm going to look at the edges. See, so here where it's sticking out, I'm going to erase this a little bit. Just so that the white pixels are tucked in a little more firmly behind the black ones. Here's one. This kind of precision always serves me later in the process. That's why I go to these lengths. You have to figure out your notifications. Huh. That's weird. Well, in the past, I've had it do stuff like if I haven't joined a stream, say it's notified me for a few months that someone has gone live, but I never joined their stream. It just decides on its own, well, I guess you don't care, and then turns the notification off without my permission. So maybe that's what's going on. I've also heard that sometimes the notifications just aren't reliable. I've gotten reports of that as well. And I've even seen it, and it's not just from Twitch, or maybe it has to do with Twitch, but I have notification that's supposed to automatically go off in my server, my Studio Mikarts Discord server, when I go live. So it's a third-party application, but it's supposed to detect when I go live so that it sends a notification in that server. But sometimes it doesn't send the notification for a long time, like even an hour or something. So I'm not just looking for the pink sticking out from the lines, but also pink that's sticking inside the lines. In those cases, I want to add pixels. I want the edge of the white to sit nicely behind the black lines. Oh, you'll just manually go through, checking the notification status, whether it's turned on or not. Oh, here's a little bit. It's right at the edge, so I almost didn't notice that. Another one. Okay, so we're moving over. So this flower was next. Oops, wrong thing. Wrong blendy mode. It's not what I wanted. It's hard right there. That line is so thin. I'm gonna just make that line black. Go in the lines. Oh, I've got to change the brush type though because I want my nice ink brush. Wow! What? Why did it? Oh, it undid my color selection when I went back. No, that's not what I wanted. There. That's better. Okay, back to the flowers, and let me make sure I didn't put any. Okay. There's no color I didn't want there. Now we're back on the flower layer, and we want to select this color again, which looks white, but it's just barely not white. We want hard round pressure size. Yay. And now back to this one. And we don't need this effect right now. Oh, yay! I saw those strawberries blooming like a month ago, and then I kept forgetting, and sometimes I would think, oh, there's probably strawberries, but it would be at a time when there was no way I could go out and check. I'll try to remember, even though they're so tiny, because I don't like try to cultivate them or anything. I love eating those every year. Ooh. Oh, I think that's great. I'm changing the shape just a tad to be a little bit more wispy, because I really think I meant this to be another wispy kind of spent flower head like the one in the corner. Oh, you ate one? Was it good? Was it sweet and delicious? And was it also tiny like usual? Yeah, they've always been good. That was a really nice surprise when we moved in. That was one of the things we bought with the house, was a strawberry patch. I had no idea because we got it very early spring, late winter. got the house, I mean. So we didn't know that it would be a crazy plant house with millions and millions of plants, with so many very, well, you know what I mean. What is the word? They require a lot of specialized care. Oh, good. Oh, and Sarah's here too. Yay, Sarah! Welcome! Yay, we have so many people today. Just typed a comment, but now you don't see it. Sorry if you repeat yourself. Let me check, because oh yeah, I don't see it, so it doesn't seem like repeating. Ah. Oh, got it. You're basically okay, you're lurking. Gotcha. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you could be here. Hope you have fun writing the thank you cards. I know it's a lot of work, but it's also really fun. I hope the baby shower went well, or, well, goes well if it hasn't happened yet. So you gotta get a really precise angle right here. Oh. Maybe I won't put one there. We won't put one there. It's nice with this wispy one. I don't really need to erase stuff away. I'm just adding. Well, I'll see what I think about that. Putting that flat color bit outside the inked bit. It's actually kind of nice. I'm going to keep that. I think I'm going to keep that. Squeaky, creaky chair. I'm going to add a little bit more at the top, though. Ah, it's too big. I want it nice and thin. Okay, now how's that look? Whoops, I'm just like, let's make it extremely tiny. Looks good. No. Alright, let's save. We haven't saved in a while, too. That's pretty good. I guess it's okay if it's not perfectly puffy all along, and the amount that I added seems alright, so we'll call that one good. Let's check with the stroke effect for, oh, I did it again, for any missing or extra pixels. Oh yeah, let's turn the lines off first. Do it that way first, and then we'll check it against the lines after that. So you can see like these little really light pink, they almost look like smudges? Spudges. They look like spudges. They look like smudges. That's just slightly empty pixels at the 12,800% viewable level. Sounds like someone's having a dream and tipping their... Oh yeah, I think it was Aoife. Her back foot is hanging off the back of the bed. Aoife's this girl. Her back foot was hanging off the back of the bed, so I think that's what that tapping sound was. Ah, Satui just going back to work. Oh, thank you, and thank you for everything today. Hope you have a great time working, enjoying the sunshine. Okay, turn the lines back on and check here. I don't think there's going to be too much to do for this because I didn't I just added those spikes. Oh, we can add a little bit right here. Adding these spikes was wonderful. This looks much more like what I'm pretty sure what I wanted it to look like when I was drawing it with ink on paper. Okay, turning this effect layer off. Well, it's not really a layer. It's turning the effect off. There we go. And I'm gonna add to this one. I think with this one, it's not meant to be a spent flower. In fact, it's meant to be one that's just barely starting to... Whoa! Why did it... It's drawing through my finger. That's crazy. My finger is on the stylus nib, and then my fingernail is what's hitting, and it's drawing. I've never... That was an accident. It's never happened before. For some reason, my undo is not... Oh, my Photoshop is just not responding. No, Photoshop! Wake up! Wake up, Photoshop! No! And at the same time, the fans are turning up higher. Come on. Please respond, Photoshop. I don't remember if we saved. I can press the save button, but it's not going to save because it's not responding. Period. The mouse isn't frozen, but the program is frozen. Please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it over again. Drawing through my finger was too much for Photoshop to handle. What do I do? I really don't want to. I really don't want to turn it off and lose that progress. No! I'm just sitting here. Look, you can even see that Photoshop is frozen because it's got this marker here along the top ruler and along the side, the left side ruler. That indicates where my cursor was, because usually those markers move along with the cursor, but they are not doing anything. Alright, I'm going to bring my tablet up and move my keyboard over so I can do a classic Control Delete and take a look at the task manager. Photoshop. Weird. It's using a huge amount of memory, but not very much CPU. I guess I could turn Firefox off. It's using... And I don't want to turn off OBS. I could turn Firefox off for a second. Wait, do you want to work now? Oh, look! I scared it. I scared it into working. It was like, no, don't turn me off. That's death for the programs. Ah, thank goodness. Okay. Alright, moving my keyboard and mouse back over. And it's only a few minutes until break time anyway. Tablet going back in the lap. Stylus in hand, and as my undo button. Yeah, undo is working. Hooray. Ooh, that was a little bit worrisome, but we got through it. Let's save real quick in case we didn't save before. Oh. Okay. What I was considering before I realized that my Photoshop was frozen was not erasing here and just adding, and that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see what it looks like. No, don't like that. No, don't like that either. No, that's too thick. Time to check. Save. Just in case we have any more issues. Oh, I have this one long one, but all the other ones are not that long. What if I just get rid of it? Oops, it's too small to get rid of. Or maybe I'm not on the right blending mode. Maybe if I just shorten it. How's that? Save. Oh, and it's exactly break time. Still don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of it altogether. And now, I won't say we're done with this flower, but it is break time. So it's time to step away, get stretched and refreshed. I encourage everyone else to take the opportunity to do the same. I am going to put my be right back sign on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I finished off my green smoothie for today. So I am feeling not only energized, but kind of chilly because it was cold straight out of the fridge. It's warm in my studio though. As always, it's always warm in here when I've got all the streaming stuff going. So I'm good. Good. It's so nice. The smoothie was so good. It was pineapple. The main fruit was pineapple. It always has bananas. So it was a yummy tropical kind of smoothie. Okay, now I am looking at the overall effect of those lines I added. I actually feel I want to shorten the black lines so that we have a little bit this. It feels really long over here compared to on this side, and it should be, I think it would be a little bit more uniform in life. So let's see. I'm going to switch to black. Mostly I think it's just shortening these two so that we have the curve going like this. So just shortening these two should be enough. So I'm going to erase away and then I'll redraw it. And I need to go to my custom brush, my ink brush. I designed to have a similar rough appearance to match what it looks like when I digitize my line work. While I'm at it, I'm gonna do some of the black on these nearby ones. So, alright, that's good. And now we're gonna go down to the flowers. Let's pick up this color so that I don't accidentally put black on the wrong layer. And, oh, and I want my, let's see, what do I want? The hard round pressure size. Now back to that. I'm just using that basic brush for coloring. And then, add a little bit here. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Now I just feel maybe we would have some longer ones, but I don't know. And it is still meant to be an organic shape, so maybe what I'll do is lengthen. Whoa, wrong thing. I accidentally pressed the button on my stylus. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to lengthen one of these two, and I think that will help. So we're back onto the black lines layer. We're going to use the ink brush again. Let's lengthen. Ah, no! Let's lengthen this one. Oops, I wanted to change to clear, but I pressed the wrong button. Okay, back to the flowers. Select this off-white color and add in some little missing spots there. Alright, now let's see what it looks like. Let me zoom out and save. That's much better. Yeah. Yeah, let's call it good for that one. So now, actually I want to bring this effects layer onto the lines, because I've been adding and changing the lines a lot. Especially on this one. On previous ones too, but I don't remember what I did. So hopefully those ones are fine. But I just wanted to make sure there weren't any stray pixels there. I don't see any. So now we're going to put it back on the flowers layer. And check these. We'll check without the lines on first. And the right brush. Nope. Hard round pressure size is what we want. There's some dots left from when I first colored it in. Little teeny tiny slivers. You gotta keep your eyes really, I don't know how to describe it. You gotta look really hard. Be on alert for the tiniest little smidge of pink. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. It's art. You can do what you want. And what I want to do is eliminate those little pink smidges. Okay. Line's back on, and now we're going to check it against... excuse me. Against... those lines. Against the lines. So right here. That was going in. Right here it's going out. Let's fit it nicely underneath. Underneath the black lines. Okay, sweet. Oh, don't want to deal with a big flower. Oh. It's so big, it's hard to deal with. But I think I gotta do it. Gotta deal with it sooner or later. Ooh. Okay. I think with this, there'll actually be more erasing than adding. Because I've got all these big tubular flowers sticking out over here, and so all of these are probably the same, where nothing is behind it. Okay. We're gonna do it. We've got the time. We've got 45 minutes. 45 minutes of stream time left, so we can tackle it. We can do this. We can do this. Big, huge, giant flower. Heck, on this part, I might end up just erasing only and not adding anything. So let's do that first and see what it looks like. Or I might add a few of those tube parts of the flowers if it seems like it needs it. Just gonna go in with a critical eye once I've erased. It's an erase between here, and then hopefully that will be enough for me to get an idea of what it's looking like. It feels like along here it's fine, but then it starts to seem a little naked, like right here. So we'll add more there. Oops, pulling it too far away from where I want it to be. Whoops. I gotta remember to change the blending mode. There we go. And now I have to remember to make these tube shapes much bigger than I have been doing. This flower is meant to be the closest one to the viewer. That's why it's really huge. So that means these tubes will be really big too compared to all the other ones. I don't like the angle of that. I did all that work and I don't like it. Undo, undo, undo. I want it to come out more like this. I keep forgetting that I'm on the different blending mode. I want it to come out more like this. There we go. Whee! Oops, that's too big. Dang it. There. That's better. I don't know about that part. Yeah, I like that better. Nope. Maybe filling this in was not the way to go on this side. The big flower is more challenging because it's got a lot more detail. Doesn't seem right for that to be all the way in either. if I make that a more blooming flower shape, like what's all around it. That's a bit better. That's better. Yay. Yay. Well, I started at the bottom, but it feels better too. I don't know. I don't know what feels better. Because usually I try to pick one side and move all the way around to the other side, but what I've done is start at the bottom, and then now I need to do one side or the other. I guess I'll just keep moving to the right. So we'll erase and add back. It's mostly like how the other flowers have been, but on a grander scale. I think it is helping to erase, then zoom out, then look for the areas that seem like they need something there. 'Cause some places I've erased, it's like, oh, that looks good. Having less looks good. Less is more. But other areas definitely, it's like, this doesn't look right. And I can't visualize it until it's actually on the screen in pixels. I can have an idea, but the pixels being visible before me solidifies it. I guess I'll erase all the way up. Today I was working more on my revised artist statement. Well, I was working on the exercises that will eventually lead to a revised artist statement. And one of the questions I was answering was, how do you... Or no, it was, what is your process? So I thought of all the different things I do, and in bullet points I described step by step each thing I do for each type of thing I do, and that included this project. So that was fun because I have been feeling like, oh man, this is another one of those ones that's never gonna be done. There's so much to do. It feels overwhelming, like I'll never be able to finish or something. That kind of feeling just haunts me, plagues me. But when I wrote it down step by step, when you see it in a list, it's not that bad. It's a lot of work. There's still so much work to do before this is done. But it's not endless. And we're getting closer and closer every day to the next step, which is adding shading and highlighting. And after that is, I can do it in various order, but what comes next to mind is coloring the lines, and then adding speech bubbles with the animal onomatopoeia in them. Then adding the same animal onomatopoeia flowing all around throughout the background, interweaving with the characters as well, close and far away, coming in from the left, the right, the top, the bottom, just everywhere. In this particular piece, I'll also have a step which is add the bees' wings, because most of the bees are flying, so I was going to add them just using color, not using ink. Then, after that stuff is done, it's just to add a texture on top. I've been using the same texture for all the images so far. And then it's done. And then it's just basic stuff like save it in the different sizes that I save it in, save it for web, and all this stuff. So there is an end in sight, even though it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. Whoops. There's a tangent. I'll get rid of that. Boom, gone. Gone. Don't want them tangents. It's not good for illustration. I think it's not good for photography too. Something I realized in my photography classes, I always had this impression that photography was just sort of just what was there. But actually, artistic photography, even if it is just what was there, requires a lot of careful planning and decision making about what angle to take the shot from, up, down, close, from the left, from the right, from behind, all this stuff, so that you do stuff like avoid making a tangent or avoid having an unfortunate, something that was always pointed out to me was things like in a movie, if you have a character stand in a certain spot, maybe it'll look like they have deer antlers right behind them. That's an example from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And if you mean to do that, then that's clever. But if you did it by accident, then it seems foolish. So that's the kind of thing that even with something that feels less controllable like photography, it's actually a big part of it. Here, I just want to thicken up this bit of coloring. Let's take a look at how it's coming out. I've just been sort of adding things, thinking they're probably good, but we should check and make sure it's actually having the right effect. It's not bad. I think I'm gonna extend this one so we can have a nice long crossing, but we'll also make it a little thinner. About something like that. Yeah. It's kind of tangent-y on the top here. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I think it's not bad. We're just gonna keep going. We just gotta keep going. That's it. It's hard. This is a mentally draining one. It's tough. But there's less than 30 minutes left. I can do this. Do it. I've got this. I feel like something needs to happen here. I'm not sure what though. We can bring out another shorter trumpet. It's meeting up too closely with that one. I'm gonna zoom out and see if that did it or if I need to think of something else. it's so close. We've still got this little patch of green, which is kind of odd. Maybe if I just add some short ones next to it, that will be enough. It's like, oh, once again, wrong blending room. Just one like this. Something like that. Maybe that's what we needed. We're getting there. Just gotta keep trying. Maybe just fill this in and get rid of this. Maybe just fill this in, period. There. We'll just leave it like that. That looks best. Okay, so just this top part left. Test. How does that look? Zoom out. This patch right here is looking a little bald. Maybe we can add something there. Thinking a long tube flower. One that comes out from in between so we don't have that patch right there. Ah, that doesn't make sense. I have to add more to it. It's coming out, but not from anywhere in particular. I have to finish its path. So let's see if that fixes it. This makes me realize these other ones need the same thing. Oop, not 300, just 200. This one here is not continuing. So we need it to keep coming straight down to the core of the flower. Same thing with this one. So maybe we just end up coloring this whole part in. It's right here too. I wonder if there's any others like that I've neglected. Let's check. Okay, the rest are fine. That one's okay. Okay. Creak. I don't like how this little triangle is sticking out like that, so let's add a little bit more to it. Now I feel like this one is attracting too much attention to itself. All of these ones without outline are meant to be background to the ones with outline. So we're going to thin it a little bit. I feel like something's missing. Oh, maybe it's fine. Or maybe I just need to finish this other side first. But I guess it feels like the edge is about here, and yet it's not going out that far on this upper side. So I think that's what it is. I think that's what's bothering me. So let's see, where am I seeing it? About like this. So right around here. I'm actually just going to draw a line there. Okay, from that point is where I want to add more. So we'll bring these pieces up higher. How's that? It's definitely better. Oh, Bigman2K is here today too. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I've had so many visitors today. It's been awesome. Hope you're having the best day ever. It's great to see you. I'm so glad you could join me. I am working on this Onomatopoeia Bees piece still. I'm on the biggest flower, which is really tough. I think at this point I need to move on to the other side here, and then I can see what the whole thing looks done and make the final decisions then. Because I'm feeling a little stuck at the top, on the top right side. So if I do the left side, then maybe that will help. I don't have to do too much right there. Yeah, this whole area is nicely covered. I don't have to do anything there. So it's just the upper left. So right here, we would just add a little line like that. Here we could add a line like that and maybe one like this. Here would be nice. Really long one. Lots of space to add a really long one. Just add Let's do another long one. Some little petals coming out. I think I'm going to have to erase away a little bit at the top too. How's the circle? The edge of the circle is like right about here. But if I erase away, let's erase away some now. At the very top. That might be the final step to make me feel satisfied about this. So I'll just erase away generically and then we'll add specific stuff. Okay, adding back. Oh, I'll allow this. I've had that come up before. Sorry about that. I bought a mod on Max because I don't want to have to deal with it, but so often I have to. You were definitely not bullying anyone. So. And thank you. I'm glad you thought that the pinhead was cute. That was actually a gift to my youngest sister. She asked me for Pinhead. I told her I'd make her a chibi caricature and she asked for Pinhead. So that was an interesting one, especially just because the movie's so old and so it was a little bit difficult to find nice high-res reference images, and it's not the kind of movie I would watch on my own. I'm not a fan of horror, but there was no... It was hard to tell exactly what was going on at certain points in the character design. I'm like, well, it looks like this, so I'm just going to draw it like this. But overall, it came out recognizable, and that's all I could hope for, so I'm glad you like it. Yeah. I don't think I've had anyone trigger the auto mod who was actually being mean, which is great. That is a really great sign that we've got great people here on my channel, is what I always hope for. But it does mean sometimes I have to say, oh my goodness, and manually click, this is allowed. The fact you recognize Pinhead means that chibi was successful. Yay! Even though it was tough. I had to use several different reference images. Normally I prefer to just have one and I cheapify the one image, but it was really hard to find. High resolution that showed the details. Specifically, I couldn't really tell what was going on with his front of his torso. It seemed pretty gruesome, but it was also an older movie, so not just the resolution, but the SFX, you know, the physical effects are not quite as advanced. So let's see. I think I'm just going to keep adding more of these long tube flowers. It seems like that's all I'm really missing here. It's really calling for one right here. Let's have one right there. Yeah, just have one come. Oh, look, I even have this line already coming out here. It's gonna be perfect. Just have it follow this line and whip. If you're hearing that snoring, that's Aoife. She's the one in the upper puppy cam. And it's a little, it bothers me a bit how this looks like it could be connecting to this line or connecting to this line. So I'm going to add another line. Then there will be no confusion, no visual confusion. Wow, I don't feel like I got the buzz on my wrist that I usually have set up for my calendar to warn me when it's 10 minutes to my next appointment. There's only 2 minutes left in the stream. Just realized. So, probably not going to be able to finish this today. This big flower. I mean, we're definitely not going to finish this illustration today. There's way too much stuff that I have left to do on this illustration, but this is probably a good stopping point. We've just got seconds to go. There's only a few of us here today, so I don't think we'll raid. Let me save real quick. But we came a long way during this stream. The detail work on the flat color when we started was only on these first 2 clusters of flowers, and then we finished the bottom left, the middle bottom left, this fluffy one, this other one, and this big one is almost done. I think I might actually add back in, right? It's good to take a break because I've been working on this process for 2 hours now. Come back tomorrow refreshed. So, yeah, I saved, which means that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and everybody for chatting. That helped the time fly by. And for everything everybody does to support Studio Mikarts. If you're new to my channel and you want to see more, please follow on Twitch to get notified next time I go live. You can also support me and this stream by becoming a Twitch subscriber, which will get you ad-free viewing and cute emotes. Or you could join my Patreon to get lovely illustrated goodies in the mail, or just send me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. All the links are in my Twitch description or in the YouTube description, whichever one you're watching. Tomorrow I will be back, same time as usual, working more on this piece. So I hope to see you then. But either way, let me wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching.